Hey guys, welcome to Monday Mindset and Manifestation. Today we are going to be raising your vibe and getting into alignment with what you want. So if you're on the live, say hi. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay. What is it that you want? And are you in alignment with it? And what does that word even mean? I mean, I've heard people say, what do you mean by get into alignment with what I want? And what I'm talking about is, in its simplest terms, agreement is what you're saying that you want, whether it is to lose weight or to find your ideal partner or make more sales, get more clients, whatever it is, are the thoughts you're thinking and how you are feeling in agreement with what you want. And that's what we're going to talk about, because that is everything. That is so important. And why? Because when we're not in alignment with what we want, that is how we work really hard and we take a whole bunch of action, but we don't actually get what we want. So in a sense, we're kind of working against ourselves. It's like putting one foot on the gas and the other one on the brake, and simultaneously you go nowhere. So we're going to talk about how can we try this another way. How can you raise your vibe first, feel better, and then take action? So this is going to be good, you guys. Stay tuned. For those of you who don't know me yet, I am Nikki Gangemi, and I help entrepreneurs and coaches reprogram their mind for success so they can make more money and impact doing what they love. So here we go. What is it that you want? And you can put it in the comments below. And the more specific you can be, the better, right? We're putting out what we want in a clear and specific way. But here's an example, and I'm going to use an example of getting more clients, because that's what I'm hearing a lot of people saying. They want to make more money, whether you sell a product or a service. Let's go with that example. But let's say that you want to get more clients because you want to bring more money into your business doing what you love. So the thing is, you say, let's just say in this example, I want to get more clients. But then the thought that pops into your mind is, I haven't gotten a client in a really long time. And then when you think that, if you take a second to say, how does that make me feel? Well, how would that make you feel? You know, if somebody said that to you, it probably would make you feel doubt, right? Or then another thought you could think is, I've had a few calls this week and I keep getting no's. People just keep saying no. And how does that make you feel? Probably makes you feel a little bit insecure, or maybe you're doing something wrong. Or you might think, I really need a new client because I've got to pay my bills. And when we think of that thought, how does that sit with you? How does that one make you feel? That can make you feel worried or even fear, right? So those thoughts that I just went over, and those feelings, those emotions, are not in alignment with that you want to get more clients, right? They're not in agreement. So we want to raise our vibe so we're no longer feeling the worry, the doubt, the insecurity. How can you feel better right now? And then take the action. See, that's the thing that so often people do backwards or the wrong way, is they just take a whole bunch of action and they're feeling really crappy while they're doing it, or really doubtful, or whatever it is. And then you're surprised when you don't get what you want, right? And we all do this. I do it too. I mean, it's just part of being human. What we want to start doing, now that we're aware of this, and I'm sure you have even heard this before, is how can you become more present to what you're feeling and more present to what you're thinking? How can you make life work for you rather than trying to work against it? And I'm going to give you a little example with even the word align. So this morning I woke up and I was thinking, what am I going to talk about today? I didn't have anything planned. I thought, what do I want to talk about today for my Monday mindset and manifestation? And I'm thinking this as I'm making a cup of coffee, and I was out of the regular coffee pods for my Keurig. So I take out the Folgers and I use that replacement pod, and I'm putting the coffee in the little replacement holder thing, and then I went to go put the holder into the Keurig, and it says Align Holder, and it has the little triangle, and I was like, okay, interesting. I'm lining up the triangle, and I put it in there, and it made me think of alignment. Why not talk about how can we align our thoughts and the way we feel with what we want so we can get the results that we want, right? So I'm making the coffee and I put it in there, and I thought to myself, if I didn't line up the two triangles, no matter how hard I tried, I wouldn't be able to get that replacement holder in the Keurig. If I just put it in any way I wanted and I pushed and I tried really hard, nothing would work. And I could sit there and think to myself, well, I must not be good enough. I must not know enough. I must not be ready enough. And none of that would be true. So I share this silly example with you just so you can see, and I'm hoping this is resonating with you, that it's not that you're not good enough. It's not that you're not ready enough when you're not getting these outcomes that you want. It simply is that you're not in alignment. And when you get into alignment or agreement with what you want, doors open. Things just become so much more easy. So I decide I'm going to talk about raising your vibe and being in alignment. I sit down, I have my cup of coffee, I do my journaling, my morning routine. Morning routines are so powerful, right? And then I open up my email, and I'm on the Abraham Hicks email list, and there is a message, and the message was totally aligned with what I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to share with you what this said in the email, because I really love it, and I think it's going to be really helpful to you in getting back into the driver's seat and being in control, more in control of what you choose to think. So here goes. This email from Abraham Hicks says, the things that we would be asking ourselves is, what proportion of my day am I in vibrational harmony with my desires? Which means, how much of my day am I happy, glad, eager, fulfilled, satisfied, complimentary? And what percentage of my day am I ornery, irritated, frustrated, or blaming? And you don't have to do 100%. You don't have to do 90%. You don't have to do 80%. If you could even get around 55% feeling better than not feeling so good, you'd have significant movement in what begins to happen in your experience. And I love this, because what this is saying is that you don't have to go around feeling positive and happy and peppy all the time. No. And that's not what I'm asking you to do, because the truth is we're just not going to be able to be there, right? What instead would help you to get the outcome that you want, to get the experience you want, is to just feel good 55% of your day. So it's just over half, and that's the tipping point. So like a scale, it tips in your favor. And how we can do that really is to come to the present moment, right? And it's something we don't often do, because we just tend to function on autopilot. We just go about our day, do our thing, and we're pretty much absent, right? Can you guys relate to this? And it just takes it being intentional and making it a practice to come back to the present. And you could do it throughout your entire day. I could do it right now. When I pick up this bottle of water, I'm noticing it's cool. I'm noticing the temperature of it. And if I'm going to tune into that, even just for a couple of seconds, I can't be thinking any other thoughts. any of those other worry thoughts, those thoughts earlier that I talked about where you might be doubting or feel insecure or worried. So the more you can do that, the more you come out of your head and you can drop down into your heart and tune in to that inner knowing and that wisdom that we all have. We're always being guided to what next step we should take or what might be a good idea or even the solution. And it's never in our head with the worry and with the doubt. You're not going to find it there. So the good thing about making it a practice to be more present and more mindful and just pay attention to the daily things that you do and use your senses, right? I mean, we get to see and hear, taste, touch, and smell, and we often don't pay attention. So the more that you can do that, you start to get really present and aware of how you're feeling. And then you can notice, oh, you know what? Here I am going to reach out and I'm trying to book all these calls to get a new client, but I wasn't aware that I was feeling anxious about it. But now that I kind of dropped out of my head and I got down into my heart and I got quiet for a couple of seconds and just asked myself, how am I doing? How am I feeling? I noticed that I'm feeling anxious. And then thinking, well, that's interesting. I wonder why I'm feeling anxious. Because we don't want to judge ourselves. I mean, that just doesn't help at all, right? Doesn't feel good to judge yourself. So just staying in curiosity, like, okay, interesting. Feeling anxious right now. What's that about? And what am I thinking? And then you can become aware of those thoughts that you're thinking that you weren't aware of before. And that's where you get to pivot. That's where you get to say, you know what, how I'm feeling right now, this anxiety, is not in alignment with what I'm saying that I wanted today, which was to get more clients. So how do I want to feel? I want to feel more certain. And then what thoughts would help me to feel more certain? Where am I already certain in my life? And you might not have certainty around more clients and sales in your business or whatever it is that you want. You know, I think of, I know a few people right now that are trying to lose some weight and they're not certain that they're going to be able to lose that weight because they put it on so quickly, and then when they do lose a little bit, they are quick to put it back on. So where in your life are you already certain? Because we are certain in our lives already. I'm certain that I can hit live and do this live video right now. I'm certain that it's Monday. I'm certain that I can get up and walk. There's lots of things that we are certain about. So how can you get aligned with the feeling of certainty? What can you think of that can bring you into that alignment? And then from that place, that's where you want to take action. Does this make sense, you guys? Let me know if this makes sense. I can't tell if you're on the live, but post in the comments below. In the meantime, what you want to do is think, how can I raise my vibe? How can I feel a little bit better? But the first thing you have to do is notice how you're feeling. And after you notice how you're feeling, just think, you know, I just want to feel better. And if I can just spend 55% of my day, like I read from the quote from Abraham Hicks, if I could even feel better 55% of my day, things are going to work out in my favor, because now I'm tipping the scale to my favor. So what can I do to feel better? Maybe it's getting out and going for a walk. I'm going to do that after this video. It's like 50 degrees here in New Jersey. It's unseasonably warm, blue skies and sun. I'm going to get out, go for a nice walk in the park. It's gorgeous out. Something like that raises your vibe. Maybe you have a pet and just, you know, sitting with your pet, you know, I know that could put a smile on my face too. What can you do? Throw on some music, dance, put on a podcast that you love to listen to, anything. But what can you do to feel better, to raise your vibe first, to get into agreement with what you want, and then take action? And that's where you're going to notice you're going to start getting better results. And be patient along the way, because it sometimes doesn't happen so quickly in the timeline that you want. So I just want to add that little note to practice patience too. So get out of your head, get into your heart, repeat. Out of your head, into your heart, repeat. What do I want? Why do I want it? How do I want to feel? And how can I feel better right now? And that's how you start to raise your vibe. So thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Please let me know your thoughts, your questions. I am here for you. And I will see you on Thursday for Thrive Thursday, Thrive in Your Mind Thursday. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.